Blessed is the kingdom of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, now and always, and forever and ever.
Amen. We praise you, we bless you, we worship you, we glorify you, we give thanks to you.
When you come into an Eastern church, it's like walking into heaven. And so while you're here, it's difficult to worry about the things on the outside because you're busy using your whole body, all of your senses, to worship God. When you come through the door, you come into the narthex. Of course, you light your candle and announce your presence to the Lord, and you make your intention for the liturgy, and then you reverence the icons that are in the narthex. And you're doing that by making a profound prostration and making the sign of the cross. And you have used your mouth and your ears and your eyes, and now you're using your body, and the smell of incense hits your nose the minute you walk in the door, and you've used your nose. So you're using all of your senses, and that's typical in the East. Whatever rite you're in, the Mass is the same. The Mass is the Mass is the Mass. What's different about the Mass is the culture of the Mass. And so in our culture, it's Byzantine. We're Greek, it's Byzantine chant. If you go to one of the local Roman Catholic parishes, same Mass, but the culture's different. You'll find the music is different, and you'll find cultural colloquialisms that are different. They developed differently in the West, but remember, things were developed locally. Local traditions entered in, little t's, not big t's. And so, of course, they couldn't email each other. They couldn't email from Rome to Constantinople or Damascus. So they developed things in the West, and the East, had already developed and stayed with what they had. And so that's why you have the difference. For instance, the iconostas is the screen that separates the people from the sanctuary, the holy place. And no one enters there without the express permission of the priest, except an ordained person. That's a deacon or a priest. With baptisms, I take them in, whether they're male or female. I take them in and circle the altar. And I'm announcing to God, this is whatever the name of the child is. I hold him up and then circle the altar, and all through the sanctuary. For many, many people, that's the only time that they will ever enter the sanctuary of God. And so that's a very profound time. An icon is not a portrait, it's not a picture, it's a written image. Icons are called written instead of painted because you are writing about the Word. Jesus is the Word, and so people are they're writing about the Word when they paint an icon of Christ, or a holy person, or something that one of his miracles, one of the events in the New Testament. So we're venerating a holy life, but we're not, glorifying a person. It's just the image of the person. We're supposed to gaze through the icon itself and reach through that window of heaven and touch the hem of his garment. And so when a person comes into the East, they need to not be afraid, because it is the same church, it is the same liturgy, it is the prayers are said differently, but in the same order and the same content. So that's the primary thing that people need to know when they encounter the East. Blessed is our God at all times, now and always, and forever and ever.
Amen.